Modern content is a slot machine that you can't win. Hey creators, Aimon here, and this is where I help you master your creative mindset. Let's get into it. So if you're a modern content creator, you know how it is, but you may not know how it is. And let me run it by you how it is. And again, you may know a little bit about this, but I think the more you know about it, the more disgusted you'll be in the process of making content. Because are you actually making content, or are you just like a slave to a corporation? Because creating modern content is kind of like the 40-hour work week in terms of it's this new slave trap to just help the algorithm to build corporations. You are creating user-generated content for someone else to make money. And sure, you can make a tiny cut of it, but so like algorithms, right? The way they work, especially let's call it out on YouTube, and it works on, I think, every platform as well. Isn't it funny when you see a creator and they just seem to come out of nowhere? They're on your homepage everywhere. They blow up like crazy. And their content's unique. They have their own thing, kind of like me. You know, you could subscribe if you want. I'm just a content slave. But you subscribe to that content because it's fresh, it's new, it's something different. Or you maybe don't subscribe, whatever it is. And they're all of a sudden getting hundreds of thousands, millions of views. And it's crazy. It's popping off. They had barely any subs before. All of a sudden, their sub count's over 100,000, over 500,000, maybe a mil. Who knows? And before that, they weren't getting that many views. But now, all of a sudden, they're just getting all these crazy views. That's because the algorithm. Ooh, touched my mouth with the furry bit. That's no good. Weird vibes. Before that, so the algorithm goes, you know what? It's like a slot machine. It goes, so like with slot machines, basically the way it works is it's called a scarcity loop. There's unpredictability, there's potential for reward, and you can keep doing it, right? They're the three things that they've decided are in slot machines. And there's a lot of it in human nature that traps us. It's the same as if you're going out hunting as a caveman, the scarcity loop, right? Potential for upside. You have to keep doing it, but also you might not win, right? It's the same as content. The algorithm goes, here's a bit of dopamine, here's a bit of success for you. And you go, oh my God, I got some views on this TikTok or on this YouTube video. I'm going to keep making content. And then all of a sudden, maybe, because the algorithm, there's so many creators, right? And it wants to reward new creators for getting on their platform. But because there's so many creators, there's only so many slots and so many different people that it can serve your type of content to give you that quick dopamine hit of, oh, it's blowing up a little bit. And so it serves your content to a few people. It's happened to me many, many times. I've started and quit YouTube so many times, right? And it serves your content to a few people, and all of a sudden you get this hit of dopamine because you're like, oh my God, my content's popped off a little bit. And then it takes it away. And you're like, oh, I've got to keep making content because I've got that little hit, right? Because it showed me my stuff to a few other people, which shows me that there's potential for this channel and maybe I can grow and maybe I can make money out of this. But really, they're making 90% of the profits and they're giving you a sprinkle of their ad revenue to keep you on this loop, to keep you creating, right? And it does this. I've seen so many friends of mine that create content, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. They're the big three at the moment, right? They go on this journey and this happens, and they go, oh my God, I've started to see some success. And I'm like, yeah, enjoy it. Or don't enjoy it and be skeptical of it. Because again, these companies, they want to make money themselves. And it's a genius business model, really. Hey, let's create a platform where somebody else makes all the content for us and we just serve ads. So that makes you the product as the person that watches the media on their platform, right? So yeah, genius business model, because they don't have to create any content. You do it all for them. And so they give you a little bit, and like something like TikTok Creators like program isn't even in Australia right now. It's in the US and a few other places. We don't even get rewarded here for TikTok. We just get views, which is still enough for creators to go, oh my God, I got some success. I got some status. I got some people looking at my thing. I'm going to keep making content. But the slot machine goes every time you post a piece of content. It's always in your mind. Who's going to see it? How many views are going to see it? How many likes am I going to get? All these little dopamine hits, all these rewards that are reinforcement to say that you are doing something good, right? Which again, that's a really good system in place, because if you get dopamine from finding food, from foraging when you're starving to death in the Arctic 500 years ago, that dopamine hit's really useful, because it's like, hey, keep foraging for berries every day because you might find some, and that will keep you alive. And now that system is being exploited by companies. And it kind of sucks, because if you are an artist, and I mean, like, music is the perfect example in terms of like, all you want to do is make music. But now you are a content creator first, and music comes second. And that's not real art. You're focusing on one thing when you should be focusing on another thing, which means there's a whole bunch of other people exploiting this art system now because they're focusing so much on this content thing, and they make music second when you're focusing on making music first. That's a side tangent. Whoa, weird little burp thing there. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. We don't cut here, not on this channel. All right. But yeah, that's why I'm saying the modern content is a slot machine that you can't win. Because eventually, and this is what happens when these channels that you see, right, they blow up out of nowhere. And because their content is actually good, and a lot of people see it, a lot of people sub, maybe you subscribe and you love their stuff. But guess what? There's still other creators, 1,000 other creators trying to make that same kind of piece of content or type of, within that niche. And they've got to give some airtime to those creators so they can keep the dopamine going for them, so they can keep them creating and keep making content for their platform, so they can keep making ad revenue off those creators. So eventually, yeah, you might win big on your slot machine pull, and you might keep winning cha-ching for a couple of months or a year or a couple of years. And eventually, like, from the outside, it looks like people just get sick of your content. But there's so many channels out there that have done this, and they've gone bang, and all of a sudden they've got 800K subs, 1 million subs, and their views average 20,000 views a video. And that's why your subscription box, it doesn't even matter what you're subscribed to. They'll serve you whatever they want to serve you, because they're giving all the different creators, and they're giving you as well. You don't know what's going to be in your subscription box today based on the algorithm, right? And it's a really sad thing, because there's a whole bunch of creators that are making really good content out there that just have their views and their reach ripped away from them, because companies make money, and that's all that matters. Money is the only thing that matters. And so if you are an artist, and if you are a person that creates content, just be very aware of this, because it's extremely toxic. And if you want to make content, go for it. But don't have expectations, I think. Anyway, this is how I'm going about it. I'm making this content. It's a really good video essay for me to explore an idea, put an idea out there. And if nothing ever happens, it's all G, baby. I just enjoy doing it, right? But also I know that if something huge happens, don't enjoy it too much and have other things going. This is just a side thing, because you never know when that reach is going to be ripped away from you. It's a very, very dangerous and toxic thing. And it's going to, the next generation of content creators, they're already trapped in it, because from day one, they've been taught, hey, this is what you do. You create content, right? Whereas it was kind of like a new edgy thing to do 5, 10, 15 years ago when I was getting into content. Wow, I sound like an old man. I'm only 29, okay? I'm not that old. But yeah, it's dangerous and toxic. And as long as you know going into this, that this is the new 40-hour work week, it is a scam, essentially. And you better be doing it for you first. And if any success comes, that's the sprinkle on top. All right. Because modern content is a slot machine that you can't win. And maybe you win. But what are the odds of winning a slot machine? I don't even know, but they're not very good. And then when you win once, what are the odds of winning again? Or what are the odds that you keep winning for a long time? Super low. And that's why this analogy is perfect. But yeah, it's hectic being a modern content creator or an artist or anyone that has anything that they want to put out there in the world, and they think they have value that they can give, and they think that they can provide something to a lot of people. and they just don't get anything in return, baby. So yeah, hopefully you got some value out of this, and I'll see you in the next episode.